Welcome back from that break. Let us now look at news in business. In business tonight, President Yoweri Museveni has strongly urged African countries to promote trade as one of these strategies that will ensure survival of the continent and prosperity of the people. The president was opening the Uganda Democratic Republic of Congo Joint Business Forum at Munyonyo that is running under the theme Promoting Bilateral Trade for Mutual Peace and Prosperity. He called on the participants of the conference to frankly discuss obstacles to trade between Uganda and DRC as he and his counterpart, President Felix Tshisekedi, who is on a state visit to Uganda, will on their part discuss way forward to maximize the prosperity of the people of DRC, East Africa, and Africa as a whole. The Minister of External Trade in the DRC, Jean-Lucien Bussa, who led the DRC delegation at the forum, assured the Uganda business community of available investment opportunities as well as tax incentives in his country. The chairperson of the Uganda Private Sector Foundation, Patrick Bitatude, pointed out some of the challenges the business community faces, especially at the border, that include immigration issues, the road network in DRC, as well as the high air travel costs. Ngomoromo Market in Lokung Sub-County Lamo District remains unoccupied 6 years after it was commissioned. The market, located at the Uganda-South Sudan border, was constructed in 2012 by Lamo District Local Government to a tune of 52 million shillings with funding from the World Bank to ease cross-border trade between Uganda and South Sudanese traders. Obona Kibwa, the Lukung Sub-County Local Council 3 Vice Chairperson, says traders within Ngomoromo village refuse to occupy the market because they alleged it is located far away from the trading center with no proper security. He notes that the civil unrest that broke out in South Sudan in 2013 and 2016 made the market unreliable for trading since majority of South Sudanese across the border fled into Uganda. According to Kibwa, traders have only used the market twice in June and September last year, adding that they have retreated to conduct businesses in Ngomoromo Trading Center. He notes that some of the market facilities are currently being vandalized since no one is taking good care for the structure built in place. That was news in business. Now, for Pearl of Africa, you can never know what you're capable of doing unless you try it. A group of tourists on the weekend went water rafting on the River Nile, an activity many of them did not know would help them shake off their fear of water. During the 5 hours of sailing on the Nile, the tourists were introduced to rafting, which many thought was hard for non-swimmers.
I'm glad to be here for my second time rafting with White Nile. It's been a great experience, and as you've seen, I think compared to the one I did first, this one was great. The rapids were really high, and the waters were too much. Last time the rapids were a bit low.
It was brilliant. It was amazing. Yeah. For me, coming from Ethiopia, this is part of the identity as well because it's Blue Nile. No, unfortunately we don't. But we have Blue Nile, so. No, I've done it last year in Zambia, in the Zambezi River.
Okay.
So, but this one is a bit much personal experience as well. I think it's okay.
Rafting experience? Awesome. Awesome.
What was the most interesting part?
When the boat went over and we were floating down, hanging on to the boat, and the rapids were flying around us. It was really amazing.
Would you recommend this experience to anyone else?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Come here, do the rafting. Great.
it your first time in Uganda?
It's my first
What
time.
does it feel?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay. In Uganda, which other interesting places have you visited besides Rafting?
Well, mostly in the clinics and with the children. The villages, way in the outback.
How has been your experience this morning?
This morning,
Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it, even though I did not want to come. You can ask all my friends. I said, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. No.
And now?
Well, I knew I would enjoy it once I went. Oh, yes, of course. It was wonderful. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all ought to enjoy some rafting. Well, for our special report today, it is 1 year since 10 students of Manya Senior Secondary School were burnt in a school dormitory. The investigations into the school fire that left over 40 students injured and property worth millions of money has never been completed. New Vision TV looks at what happened and how far the case has gone. Today, November 11th, 2019, marks 1 year since 10 students died in a dormitory fire at St. Bernard's Manya Senior Secondary School in Chifamba Sub-County last year. Unknown arsonists sneaked in and torched the Senior 3 dormitory. They locked the dormitory doors with a padlock to ensure none of over 60 occupants escaped from the burning dome. At least 37 were severely wounded. Few others escaped with minor injuries, while scholastic items worth millions of shillings were destroyed. The deceased included Charles Suna, Today, November 11th, 2019, marks 1 year since 10 students died in a dormitory fire at St. Bernard's Manya Senior Secondary School in Chifamba Sub-County last year. Unknown arsonists sneaked in and torched the Senior 3 dormitory. They locked the dormitory doors with a padlock to ensure none of over 60 occupants escaped from the burning dome. At least 37 were severely wounded. Few others escaped with minor injuries, while scholastic items worth millions of shillings were destroyed. The deceased included Charles Suna, 16, Simon Subuga, 15, Timothy Bukenya, 16, Geoffrey Lutaya, 21, Remedius Tamale, 16, Anthony Sechtende, 15, Hudson Biamukama, 22, Emmanuel Kasozi, 15, Sharif Dodie, 15, and Maurice Basita, 15. Their bodies were charred beyond recognition. It only took a DNA test to identify the deceased before handing the remains to their respective families. Until today, their families are still grieving and struggling to cope with recurring memories. According to Caroline Nabasaji, her son Charles Suna would have been among thousands that sat for their ordinary level exams this year to pursue his dream of becoming an engineer. Nabasaji, a resident of Kalizo Town Council Chotela district, said the delayed trial for the suspects in this matter hurt them so much. She further appealed to the government and court to use the first anniversary to expedite the trial for justice to prevail. She argued that delayed justice or judicial lapses usually incite more crimes. Security Minister General Eli Tumwine and Janet Museveni, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, visited the school shortly after the incident. They appealed to the parents to remain calm, promising to follow up the case with other security authorities to expedite the court process. But, according to Nabasaji, the case is taking a snail's pace. Another parent, Betty Namwonge of Katwe North in Kalisizo Town Council, declined to speak on the matter, saying nothing will return her son Anthony Sechtende. Late Maurice Basita's family was calling for justice from the time of the incident. However, his elder brother Goodman Manigaruhanga said the family chose to rest their case because they are haunted emotionally. They could not say much about the incident. Betty Nakate, whose two sons Julius Kanwaji and Derek Muyombia escaped, but with severe burns, said they still get nightmares about the inferno. Although they escaped, Nakate explained that their scars sometimes swell. They actually don't know at what stage the cases have appealed for speedy justice since the incident, but they continue losing hope every day to the persistent delays. She appealed to the government to intervene as it did with the murder of Maria Nagrinya, a social worker, and her driver Chitaimbwa, among other cases. However, despite the gruesome incident, Nakate said she took back her sons to the ill-fated school after the new administration improved on the security of the school. Nakate notes that at first they were worried, but they got used to it. Now they have completed their O-level. Running is not the solution, but to stand and face your worst fears. The arsonists took advantage of the security lapses to sneak in and burn the dormitory using petrol. But Geoffrey Aligasha, the new headmaster of St. Bernard's Manya Senior Secondary School, ordered a strict security mechanism to avoid similar incidents. The school has since deployed most security personnel to watch over the school at all times. It procured surveillance cameras. The ill-fated dormitory was refurbished and is occupied by more than 100 students. It was inaugurated by former Masaka Diocesan Bishop John Baptist Kagwa, who cleansed the dormitory with holy water and prayed for the students not to be haunted by spirits of the deceased. The dormitory has two sections. Each of them has two doors, one for regular entrance and exits, and the other for an emergency. Also, the burglar proofing was removed from all the dormitories. On May 31st, the four key suspects, students, were committed to the High Court. The students are Alex Talemwa, 18, Junior Mugarura, 18, Dixon Chisule, 18, and Edison Nile, 21. Prosecution led by Victoria Ann Nanteza said they were through with investigations and ready to proceed for trial. It was the sixth time the suspects appeared in court, only for mentioning and remand. They first appeared before the Chief Magistrates Court on November 27, 2018. Other subsequent sessions were December 13, 2018, January 10, 2019, February 15, March 22nd, April 26th, and May 30th. However, Michael Tayewa, a security guard, and Corporal Stephen Nzeimana, a police officer, were charged with negligence of duty, and their case is tried in the magistrates' court separately. Relatives of the four students said they were longing for committal for the trial to begin. Since the suspects' arrest, human rights activists have been pushing for a speedy judicial process to ensure they get justice. That was New Vision TV News. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time. Do have a lovely night. I leave you with the fact file.